everyone, and welcome back to the Hodgepodge channel. And today we're looking at the history of X-Men's Morph, the shape-shifting mutant who's gone from comic book obscurity to animated icon and even multiverse hero. Let's morph right into it. See what I did there? Morph wasn't always the Morph we know today. He actually started way back in the X-Men number 35 from 1967, and his name back then was Changeling. Created by Stan Lee, Changeling was a villain who worked for the evil mutant organization known as Factor 3. Changeling had the power to alter his physical appearance, pretty similar to Mystique, but his story took a heroic turn in one of the earliest examples of the redemption in comics. He appeared and found Professor X, and Professor X offered to help the mutant, and Charles liked him. Changeling took Xavier's place, but tragically he was killed in the battle by the subhuman Grotesque while still disguised as Professor X. The X-Men didn't even realize the real Professor X was still alive until much later. Changeling's sacrifice made him one of the first mutants to die an actual hero. Let's fast forward a little to 1990s, where everybody really learned how Morph was, and this is when he came alive in the animated series that debuted in 1992. The creators wanted to include Changeling, but thought the name was a little too creepy for kids, so they just rebranded him into Morph. Morph was introduced as a lighthearted, funny member of the team, a prankster who kept things fun. Fans instantly loved him, but in a shocking twist during the very first episode, Morph was killed by Sentinels. Kind of a shocker, but a real cool plot if you're watching the cartoon. The X-Men mourned him, especially Wolverine, and fans were devastated. But here's the twist. Morph didn't stay dead. In Season 2, Morph returned, but he'd been captured and brainwashed by Mr. Sinister. The Dark Morph was unstable, angry, and haunted by trauma from his near-death experience. His storyline tackled themes of PTSD and identity, pretty heavy stuff for kids. Eventually, Morph overcomes Sinister's control, but his mental health remained fragile. His redemption arc made him one of the show's most complex characters, and fans loved it. Morph was even brought back as a recurring member later in the series. Did you know the only character that was created for the cartoon of Fox? I didn't know that until the other day, actually. I kind of assumed he would have been around. Morph just looks like me 20 years ago. Does have a cool look to him, which I think is awesome. He has the best gimmick of all of the Toy Biz toys. They did him right. The figure, the X-Men suit looks fantastic. It's fan-flippantastic. It's exactly what it should be. And the removable heads are priceless and awesome. So, this is regular Morph that you see, the good guy Morph. Now, just pull off the head. That is how this should be. Very easy. Oh, and then watch. Oh, look how easy that is. To other people, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, you'll need to take notice. Masters of the Universe removable heads. So this is Mr. Sinister's head here, and the Apocalypse, and whoever else decided to get all up in his business. So that's the come back to life, just screwed up in the head Morph right there. But look how cool it is. And if you compare them next to each other, man, that does look really good. I do think that looks fantastic. It's awesome. So let's say you don't have Morph, but you got this. I mean, you do kind of get to put a Logan head on, and you get a fairly decent looking Wolverine with no mask on and a different type outfit, which is kind of cool. This one makes sense because they were buddies in the cartoon, and it made a lot of sense. There's other ones that I thought could have happened with this, but more I think about it, the Logan head is pretty spot on. So it just pops off just like such as well. There's the three heads in the back. And then the one that kind of becomes cool, because the Cyclops that looks like this is kind of big and chunky. This, I think, is a cool looking Cyclops. Is it accurate? No. But does it look cool for kind of a custom build? Abso-flippin'-lutely it does. I don't know. I love it. I think it's a cool Toy Biz action. When me personally, the Cyclops comes off and I have him as normal Morph because it just makes me remember my childhood. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, and then what your favorite version of Morph is. And then let me know. Did you, well, just keep watching. We'll learn more about Morph. In 2001, Marvel revived Morph from the comics, but by this time he was far from the alternative reality. This Morph was inspired by the animated version, keeping his sense of humor and heart was kind of a bigger role, which was pretty cool. Morph joined a team of heroes from across the universe multiverse tasked with fragile and fixing broken realities. He was the team's comic relief, but under the jokes, he carried the pain of watching the worlds fall apart. Morph mixed of humor and heroism made him one of the most beloved members of the Exiles team. He even became the group's emotional core, a far cry from his short-lived comic debut decades earlier. Guess what? Morph's back. The new X-Men 97 reveals that he is back, and he comes back with a bigger bang. I don't like the new look of him, but, you know, I'm probably the last one who does. You will have to tell me that down in the comments. So, what's your favorite version of Morph? The tragic hero from the comics, the silly prankster of the animated season, or the new guy, or that guile from Exiles? Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll see you next time for another toy history review.